Hello everybody, welcome to DACman Productions and welcome to the METCA show. And we are back with Stu Rankins. Didn't we just see you at the TCA York show?
Yeah, York, October York was what, 2 weeks ago, Sean?
Yeah.
So, first of all, thank you and thank your viewers for bearing with me. If you've noticed, I have my voice back. That York video, go back and watch it. For any of you folks that haven't watched it, go back and watch those videos Sean posted about York, and you'll see the METCA one. Oh my God, my voice. That was such a struggle to get through that conversation. But thank you for being so understanding, Sean.
Oh yeah, and you did mention during that show that unfortunately the Lionel custom run GP9s did not arrive in time, and that's not Lionel's fault. A couple things happened with the storm and other things.
Yeah, there were 2 East Coast hurricanes, there was a port closure, and while only a couple days, since a port is busy and booked nearly 24 hours a day, when you have to make up 3 days of downtime when your schedule's already booked 24 hours a day, those logistics are hard to work out. So yeah, a couple of day closure and a couple of storms really play havoc with logistics and distribution. Luckily though, our GP9s have now arrived. Before I get to that, I do just want to, I love giving the DACman viewers a little inside info. This isn't even on the website yet, although it says there, go pre-order on the METCA website. Our webmaster is just dealing with some family emergencies right now.
Okay.
So these aren't up on the website yet. But we are doing an MTH Rail King RS1 in Penn Central. We're doing it in 2 different road numbers, but as you've seen with METCA traditionally, we don't just offer exactly the same item and change only the road number. We normally change something else about it other than just the road number. So on this one, we have one road number with the white PC worm logo, and the other road number has the red P in the worm logo, and that is prototypical. That road number actually had the red P in the Penn Central logo.
Oh, cool. And how many of each are you making?
These are gonna be a total production of 27 of each. We're splitting it with somebody else.
Oh, okay.
So the partner will be announced later on. METCA's gonna have 9 of each available on our website.
Yeah, those will sell out.
We think they're gonna be real popular.
Yeah.
Some other things, and I'll leave this brochure, and after when we're done, you can go ahead and look at it, but Sean will show you some of the other new things that we have. These other items that are in the staple packet here, Sean, those are on the website. It's just the Penn Central RS1 that's not there yet, but people should just keep checking the website between now and the end of the year when the webmaster gets things going again.
All right, and so let's look at these GP9s because they're looking sharp, and they just arrived, you said, right?
Literally, Sean, I think I've had these for about 18 hours. So this is Saturday morning we're doing this, Saturday, November 2nd. These arrived the afternoon of Friday, November 1st. So yeah, a little more than 12 hours, 18 hours. So that's 18 hours that these have been in. So that's one of the advantages coming to a small little local show.
Yeah.
You never know what you're going to see that's new and different. Sure, you go to places like York or the Big E up in Massachusetts, or even the big Allentown show that's next weekend. You'd expect to see some new things there. But here's a little local TCA division meet in a little gymnasium cafeteria type of facility. And yeah, the 2024 Lionel Legacy GP9s are here. The dealer network is just starting to receive their cataloged versions as well. Lionel's pumping out the product out of the warehouse as fast as they can. But again, these came in. So Sean, why don't we maybe just pan down the 4 of them, and then I'll pick up 1 or 2 and talk about. So we have the New York and Greenwood Lake that we did in partnership with the New Jersey High Railers. Aberdeen, Carolina, and Western. Again, this is in the raspberry metallic and daisy yellow. Very popular from their passenger scheme. We have a Corsair GP9. Features the checkerboard on the nose. And we have Texas Special. That's been the Texas Special road name has been very popular for any of the items that we put the road name on. Can I show you some of the specifics of each of these engines, Sean?
Yeah, because I'm noticing each one has specific details on them.
Yeah, so all 4 of the GP9s that we just saw, none of the 4 are the same. They all have road-specific details, whether it's a winterization hatch, a bell, a horn location. The items are different on all 4 of these. So they didn't just pump out shells and paint the shells different colors. Each one was manufactured specifically for the road name that we have it on. So New York and Greenwood Lake, small short line up in upstate New York. Some of the unique details on this one is, and this one is prototypical. Let me start by saying the other 3 we're going to look at next, not prototypical. This one, we got it as prototypically accurate as reasonably possible, which is pretty darn close to the real thing. They ran their locomotives long hood forward, so the F to indicate the front of the locomotive is actually the end of the long hood. That is why the bell is on this end of the locomotive. Again, just like the real thing had. The real thing has the winterization hatch with the horn on top of the winterization hatch. So we were able to capture that small detail. Note up here in the front, it's got the tall little antenna there.
Yep.
The top of the cab roof is smooth. I point those details out because as we go forward, you're going to see those are some of the subtle details that differ on the other locomotives. Does it help if I hold it up against if you can focus that way? I don't know if that's better or worse.
Oh, that's good too. I was just admiring this, the GP9 itself. They did a wonderful job on it.
They did. So as you can imagine, this has a very eerie railroad feel. And if you look at their logo on the end, again, it looks very much like the Erie Diamond.
Yeah.
They just changed the lettering to New York and Greenwood.
I like
Lake.
the real chain detail on there.
The drop plates go up and down.
So the one thing I learned when I was at Diesel Days at the B&R Railroad Museum is these were actually dual-purpose locomotives. They could be used for a road switcher or an actual just a regular locomotive, but because they were meant for a road switcher as well, is why they had these plates on them, so they could do their switching with them.
Yep, yeah, and for even over the road, if they had multiples of these coupled together to get from one locomotive to the next, the drop plate allowed them to get over the coupler, so they didn't have that big gap to jump.
Yeah.
The engineer, conductor, or brakeman. So New York and Greenwood Lake, again, we did it in conjunction with the New Jersey High Railers. Their allotment or allocation they're out of. They did pre-sales only. Now that they're in, METCA has all of the in-stock inventory. So you can go to the METCA website if you're interested in one of those.
All right. Let's look at that Aberdeen, because people love that paint scheme.
Man, oh man, this is one that I so thrilled and excited about. So yeah, this goes back to the first Aberdeen locomotive that Lionel did. I think it was maybe an F9, something like that.
Yeah.
Anyhow, the raspberry metallic
Let's get close.
and the daisy yellow. I don't know if it shows up, but there is actually like a little bit of a metal.
I did see it. When you twisted it a certain way, I did catch that.
Yeah, I'll try to hold this still and you can rotate the camera.
Yeah.
Anyhow, I don't. It's probably a cliche to say it looks better in perfect than on video.
Yes.
But that raspberry metallic totally looks great. So the inspiration for this, that Aberdeen F9 when Lionel first came out with it, everybody was like, "Oh my gosh, a purple locomotive," and then when it actually came out versus the catalog image, people gobbled them up. So we said, well, let's take that passenger color scheme, because yes, this is their passenger color scheme. They have a green and cream, which is their freight color scheme. But we said, let's do more with that passenger color scheme. So we've put that on this GP9. We have the same purple and daisy yellow on multiple freight cars coming up. Hint, hint, already working on another one for 2025. You'll have to wait till January for us to announce that one.
Okay.
But be ready. So this one again, road-specific details. It's got that Sinclair antenna on the cab of the roof. It's got the horns mounted up here on this little hatch, which is the hatch you remove to get access to all of your controls.
Nice.
You don't have to take these off the track to put them in run, program, or any of the other options in there, Bluetooth on off. Super, super easy, especially with the horn on there, to get access. No winterization hatch on this one, just the regular fans. So
I want to take a look. Can you hold it so I can see the nose art?
the nose art is killer.
Yeah, because I'm just catching a glimpse. Oh yeah, look at that.
So the Carolina route, Aberdeen, Carolina, and Western.
Look at that.
Yeah, and that's a rather complicated logo to put on the nose of a locomotive with all these different surfaces.
Yeah,
but they nailed it.
They did. And so you did your usual 40 of these?
No, these were so popular. We did 60 of these.
60,
and we're in single digits
already.
As to how many that are left? Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So real popular, but everybody loved this color scheme. So I'll be honest with you. If we had only sold the minimum of 40 on these, I kind of would have been disappointed. I had anticipated that we would sell more than the minimum production quantity. And yeah, when we announced these and people saw what we were doing, and at the time the F9s had just come out and they could see the color, and Lina was able to let me know that these were coming out of the same factory as that, and I spec'd out the same colors as that, so there was a high probability that the colors would be spot on, and I can assure you.
Oh yeah, definitely. So remember what he said, single digits. So this ain't gonna last much longer. It may not even make it to Allentown.
We'll see. We'll see. I have a feeling it will.
You think it will?
I will. Because I didn't even bring here to the show. I only brought 2 of these extra to the show. And as I said, we're in single digits, so unless they all sell online this week, depends on how fast you get this video up.
Oh, the video will be up on Sunday, so
so they could sell out during the week.
Yes.
Before we hit Allentown next weekend.
Yeah.
Possible.
Yeah. The video will definitely be up Sunday.
Next one, if you've been keeping track of METCA, we've done several military-inspired diesel locomotives, P-51 Mustang locomotives. We had that red tail recently. So we've had a lot of success with military-inspired locomotives, based on mostly based on airplanes. And so we looked at the Corsair plane. It came in many different paint schemes.
Yes.
Some are just very bland and plain, which is understandable. That the military is about function. They're not really about the art. So, but we wanted something with a little bit of flair. So we found a Corsair that had the red, that had the white and blue checkerboard on the nose. The wing tips, they had just a little hint of yellow at the tips of the wings. So we captured that and just put a little bit of yellow on the tip of the locomotive.
That's cool. Now, does the 427 have any significance, the number?
It does, and if I was a real product promotion guy, I would have been prepared for this and remembered what the answer to that was. It probably is related to the airplane that the Lionel graphic artist used to capture my idea. This is a perfect segue into how some of these things get created.
Oh.
And the details. I'll write Lionel an email.
Okay.
This is what I want. Maybe I'll send him a photograph of the airplane and say, fit the airplane markings on a diesel locomotive. So there's some talent involved to do that. That's not me. I just say, do it, make it fit. One of their graphic artists himself is a military historian or a military aviation fan, whatever. So most of the military themed stuff that comes out of Lionel, this one particular graphic artist does the artwork for. So I know if it's going to him, and I don't get to pick who creates the artwork for my projects. But I do know if it goes to him, he does research beyond just the little bit of information I send. So he will pull in some of these details, and I forget what the road number stood for. When we did the artwork, I always question that and look at that, and at the time it made sense. I'm like, oh yeah. And now I forget what it is.
So I stumped you?
Yep. You got me. But unlike Kevin Quinn, when you ask him what is Lionel Train Day, I don't stand there and go, like a deer in the headlights. But what do you expect from somebody that has all that Irish blood in them?
Wow.
Yeah, somebody's over there right now giving me an evil eye. What goes on behind the camera, you people have no idea. I'm sorry. So you got on the nose with the star and bar. Even here up on top of the cab, we put the star and bar. Voigt, one of the manufacturers of the Corsair. Yeah, again, all those subtle little details. Hey, I'll give just subtle little detail here. That serial number 21438, February 14th, 1938. I put my dad's birthday as the serial number for this locomotive.
Wow.
So this locomotive was designed back in January of 2024. I had to put some digits there for a serial number, so I'm like, yeah, my dad, he's getting up there in age. Let's, put a little notation on there for him. Quite ironic. I did that back in January 2024 because here we are in November 2024. My dad just passed away in September of 2024, 2 months ago. So how ironic that I put this on in January. He passes away in September. So, Dad, if you're up there watching this video, that one's for you, Dad. Road-specific details again. This one also has the horn up front, Sinclair antenna here, winterization hatch on there.
Now I wanted to point out right here this F-4U. What is?
So that's the model number. Think of some of the Pennsylvania Railroad locomotives. There was probably like an M1A, an M1B.
Yeah.
Each time they made a change or a version or a variation, they would change the letter. Same thing here with the Corsair. And I don't recall what each of the different numbers or letters, the designations.
Yeah.
But this was basically like Model F as opposed to Model A, B, C, or D. Model F, version 4. Each one of these designates something. So that's the model designation.
Sort of like, I know with Boeing, and I love bombers, like the B-24, B-29. The B always stood for bomber.
Yep.
Yeah, so maybe F stands for fighter. I don't know.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm not familiar enough with warplanes to know that much, but...
Agreed, nor am I. But that graphic artist, that Lionel, he would totally know what all those designations stand for. And again, we wanted, the Corsair had some nicknames that it was known for, and that one says, Death from Above. The way this plane was designed and the air intake to cool the engine, it made this very unique, I'll call it a whistling sound or a screaming sound, that it would, when it was dive bombing, it would get that high-pitched sound, and our enemies nicknamed the Corsair fighter plane Death from Above, because they knew when they heard that sound, it was already too late for them.
Yeah, and that whining sound, I believe, was they had a remote turbo on those planes, and that was the sound that you would hear is actually the turbo winding up.
Makes sense.
Turbo supercharger.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
As the air flows through all of that and winds it up.
Yep.
That's how you get that high-pitched sound.
Yeah.
Much like a diesel truck turbo. Not that you would know anything about that. I think that's a separate video for a separate day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's faint though. The volume is very faint.
Well, that's because I haven't adjusted the volume.
Finally, our last Legacy GP9, the Texas Special. As I mentioned, it's been very popular. We've put it on other locomotives. We put it on freight cars. We put it on cabooses. You want a Texas Special passenger locomotive and passenger cars, go to your regular dealer. Whether you want Lionel or MTH, you can get your Texas Special passenger train from your favorite manufacturer at your favorite dealer. We do non-passenger train related stuff. That's why we've done Texas Special freight cars and a caboose. And also a Texas Special GP9. We've done an SD40, crazy, crazy popular. Can't find them anymore. But again, some of the unique features on this version, the F is at the short hood because we all know that's the way the Texas Special ran their GP9s, right? Listen, when I'm doing a fantasy scheme, it's my story. I can say anything I want and I can't be wrong.
There you go.
That's why we also put the bell on the short nose, the short hood on this one, as opposed to long hood. We don't have the fancy 5-chime horn on here, just the single little, I'll call it a whistle horn antenna, whatever the little single one is. Again, hatch easy on, easy off. You don't have to get your fingernails in there. Horn back here, and this one does have the winterization hatch. The two openings right there are where you put your smoke fluid. I love just putting stuff on top of the locomotives. It's often an underutilized space, so we just gave the star on there. When you see these in the catalog image, all you ever see is the side, so you never know what's up on top. It's never shown in the catalog images.
Oh,
but
yeah,
usually
you're right.
I like to put a little something up on top of the locomotives. Again, as long as it's not too much out of place. And then the Frisco and MKT, because those are the railroads that combined to run the Texas Special train. Nice looking silver on the bottom. And yes, this is white. We intentionally made this white. The red and white with the silver, we like that combination of 3 colors as opposed to just red and silver, just the 2-tone.
Right.
We like the mix of the 3 colors.
And how much are these GP9s each?
So these are now all in stock. So the Texas Special, the Navy Corsair, Aberdeen, Carolina, $5.99, including shipping. And then the New York and Greenwood Lake is $5.75, including shipping. They're all in stock now. If you are watching this video on Sunday when Sean releases it, and you've already pre-ordered it, on Sunday, my buddy over there, Andy, and I, we're getting together at my house to pack these up, and then we'll turn them over to UPS the first half of next week. So should be in your hands by the middle of the week, end of the week, after this video airs on November 3rd.
And one last question is, for those who are watching this video, they are not a TCA member or they're not a METCA member, can they buy these off of my video?
Yes. So if you're not a TCA member, these, now that they're in stock and all of our TCA members have had that exclusive ordering period, now it's opened up to the public. Anyone can order these. We do like to give TCA members an exclusive ordering window. That's one of the perks of membership, because sometimes these do sell out on pre-orders and they never end up at a show. And you, the DACman viewers, never see it because they all pre-sold to TCA members.
Right.
But we do like, believe it or not, it's going to sound weird, and I think I mentioned this once before, a long time ago. Believe it or not, I do like when a item doesn't sell out and we actually have it to bring to a show, because it engages us with our members. They come up, they tell us a story. Oh, I was down, I rode this train, Aberdeen, in 2023 for the LCCA convention, or this, or Navy, and I was a mechanic on a Navy submarine or something like. We find all sorts of stories by talking with folks and engaging with folks who come up to our booth at a show, all because the product is there. If the product wasn't there, if we sold out entirely on pre-orders, that never would have given us the opportunity to have it at a show, to talk and connect with our members. So, on the one hand, there's the money. You want to sell out on pre-sale?
Right, yeah.
Come on, let's face it. If you are looking purely at the financials, you want to sell out on pre-sales.
Yes.
But if you open your eyes, and if it's about a little bit more than money, if it's about the hobby and the people in the hobby, you like connecting with them at train shows and having interesting product on the table, product that they can't get from a catalog or can't get from a dealer because it's an exclusive custom run for us. Having that product at a train show is an awesome way to connect to members, to connect to your viewers. I can't tell you how many times people come up to us, hey, I saw you on the DACman video, and I'm humbled. It's not about me. Sean, you do all the Lions work, the yeoman's work behind the scenes, putting these videos together, and the product is what brings the people in. I'm just an actor in this whole big skit of a play.
And okay, Stu, and you're always great to talk with and explain the products and stuff like that. One thing I will quickly mention, I did mention in my York Show Hall video how you already sold out of the Atlas O Penn Central Berwick High Cube boxcars, and the only way that fans will actually get to see those is, I already pre-ordered a set from you, and I get to so they'll still be able to get to see them on my Conahay Rail video.
So we talked about those a while ago, and I showed you the artwork, and that ties into what I just said. Those will never make it to a train show,
right?
Because they're sold out. Not that your viewers won't see them; they will see them on your layout. But that just ties in perfectly with what I said. So financially, that project was a home run. Luckily, we have enough other product that will be at shows, so we will be able to engage with your viewers, engage with members, promote the hobby, talk about the hobby. But yeah, that one's not going to end up making it to a show.
No.
Yeah.
But they'll get to see it on my review video, and I'm looking forward to that.
Yep.
Supposedly, according to Atlas, in December. We'll see.
That's what they said. They just had a container come in. Berwicks were not on it. Their Gunderson High Cubes were on it. So if you ordered Gunderson High Cubes, we didn't do any custom runs of that. Those have just arrived at Atlas. So yeah, probably about a month, 6 weeks, 8 weeks. When they get their next load, the Berwicks boxcars should be on there at the end of the year.
All right, looking forward to that, and we'll catch you in Allentown, I guess.
We'll see you at Allentown.
All right.
Maybe I'll share with you more information on a next release there.
Yes.
Just a little teaser.
Yeah, we always like teasers. So Stu wanted me to show you guys these brochures of the METCA custom runs. These are all exclusive to METCA. I wear Levi's pants. Pink Panther, I remember that cartoon back in my day. Here you had Tennessee whiskey tank cars, they're nice looking. USS California SD-70. Then you have USS Tennessee SD-70 dummy. And then you have Panama Canal SD-40-2. And then you have the Pennsylvania S1 GG1 Vision Line. Aberdeen, Carolina, Texas Special Boxcars. Hiawatha, Milwaukee Road SD-70 ACE. Grumman Hellcat, Catmouth, SD-70 Ace. Here's another picture of Aberdeen, Carolina boxcar. Here you have the Aberdeen, Carolina in a different color scheme, Chesapeake and Ohio. And keep in mind, these are all custom runs, exclusive to METCA only. You can't get these anywhere else.
So, Sean, one thing I also wanted, to mention to you. We announced our Checkpoint Charlie boxcar a little while ago, and this is traditional size. It's your 64 size, 9700 style boxcar, whatever you want to call it. So the way this works is Lionel does this. This is just virtual computer-generated images. So what they do is they print these down in North Carolina.
Oh, wow.
So they take the artwork that we work with them on, and then before they go into production,
Right.
they make one, and they send it to us so that we could check it to make sure it's correct before they go into full production mode. So what you're looking at here, at this point in time, it's one of a kind.
Okay.
But soon it won't be. But this is the production sample that we use to verify that the graphics are what we want it to be, that it was correct. Essentially, this is meant to be what we spec'd it out as. But every once in a while, a little something happens during the production process.
Yeah.
That isn't what you want. That's why you give a sample. So we do have two different graphics on this car.
Oh, wow.
You were just looking at side one, and this is side two. Granted, the sign here is the same on both sides, but on this side, where the orange or yellow sign is, the crossing barrier or the crossing gate is down. Over here, where you're leaving the American sector, that black and white sign, the crossing gate or the barrier is up. On the other side, over here on the yellow-orange sign, the crossing gate is up. And over here, the photograph of the tanks and the soldiers, the crossing gate is down. So not only did we change the images on both sides, we also changed the crossing gate. But here's a... Go ahead.
I can't, I'm just admiring the graphics, because you said this is printed, and it looks great. I mean, it really does.
The way they do these down in North Carolina, it's a giant inkjet printer, just like your home printer. They take the painted boxcar, they put it in a fixture, like 6 or 8 of them at a time, and this giant inkjet printer, zip, zip, UV. It cures the ink with UV, ultraviolet light. Zip, 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 it goes back and forth and prints this. That's why with their process from their made in the USA cars, you can get much more complicated graphics. Because just like your home printer, you could print anything. Back in the day, post-war, they were pad printing things, lithographing things. So that's why you can get much more detailed images.
And for those who missed it, all right, so I'm going to go back. For those who missed it, right here, you can see it. He mentions made in the USA.
Yep.
So this is, people have been asking and asking Lionel to bring back product in the USA, and here you are.
Yep. And as you saw on that, there's imported part of it. Part of the parts are, it says printed and assembled. Some of the parts, the trucks, they don't make these die-cast trucks here. These are the same die-cast trucks that are made overseas, and they ship them in. So which of these parts are made in the USA and which of the parts are made overseas and brought in, I don't know. So there are some parts on this that are not made in the USA, but the graphics are applied by the folks down in North Carolina, right here in the USA. So if you are the type of person that says, oh, I want my trains made in the USA, put your money where your mouth is. Look for these boxes from Lionel that have the flag on it. That's what designates their made in the USA items. If this was from their overseas vendor, it would just be their standard orange box without a flag. To give you a little example, Sean, of some of the things sometimes that do go wrong during production, take a look at the flags there. You see how they have that little bit of a gray shadow, vertical striped shadow?
Yeah, I see it.
It's meant to make it look like the flag is waving. Well, you can design anything you want in the computer, but let's take a look at how it turns out when it actually goes into production. Now, look at how the flags actually turn out when they print them. This is how the inkjet printer interpreted what the computer told it to print. This has those little vertical lines. Look at the USA flag, lots of stripes missing.
Yeah.
So 99% of the time when I get a production sample, I say approved, and they all get made just like this. But this is one of those times where I'm going to have to go back to them and say, we tried to get too fancy showing that the flags were waving.
Yes.
Remove that gray shading, because the gray shading is confusing the printer. And so on the final product, these will just be normal flat looking flags, not waving
not
flags,
waving, yeah.
even though the artwork makes it look like they're waving.
Yeah,
that's one of the changes that you do during the production process.
That would be hard to bring on a printer. Maybe like regular graphics, pad printing, but on a printer, probably not.
It's difficult. And again, look at this side of the car. On this side of the car, the USA flag has all of the red stripes, not that big white area like we saw on the other side of the car.
Yeah.
So again, a lot of intricacies with the production process. But this is why you get a production sample to catch that kind of stuff in those rare cases when it happens.
Okay.
So anyhow, these once we get the flags fixed, they'll send us another production sample, because they don't go into production till I say one word. And there is only one word Lionel will accept before they go into production. Approved. Once I say approved, I own it. I marry it. It's on me. If I don't say approved, if I say, oh, I like it, they don't go into production if I say I like it. They need to hear the word approved. And once approved is said, they go into production, and if anything is wrong, it's on me.
Okay.
And if I want any changes from that point, I pay for a whole new production run.
All right.
So anyhow, I just wanted to show that to you, the production sample of our Checkpoint Charlie box car, also on our website. Thanks, Sean.
All right, we'll see.
Everybody, hit the like button down below, hit the little bell, and then the bell has a little drop-down arrow next to it. Hit that, and you can make the bell black, and that's when you get notified when Sean launches these videos. You don't have to wait for them to show up in your feed from YouTube. You'll actually get the alert. You only get the alert if you make that bell black. Otherwise, you're just a subscriber, which is super helpful too. Thanks, everybody.
All right, we'll catch you later.
Bye.
Bye.